Hello guys. So this is a video I'm trying to make for explaining how parameterized reports work in Rmarkdown, and we'll try and demonstrate how purrr library can be used to generate many such reports. So let's start. I'll go to file and create a Rmarkdown file. I'll give it a name, damage control purrr, and I'll give OK. So before starting anything else, let me quickly show the data. So the data I'm using is the village census directory for Gujarat. There are around 18,000 rows and I think around 300 columns, I forget. But we'll be using this and we'll try to create a parameterized report. And that's it. That's it about the data. We'll quickly see how this can be done. So the first things first, I will write down some libraries that I might need, and obviously I'll start with tidyverse. Of course, I should start with library here, but since this is a baby demo project, it doesn't need here, but I will still do it, otherwise my computer will be set on fire if I don't do this, or so I'm told. And I will load these two libraries, and once that is done, I will read in the data, and let me do that, and I will still not include this in the final knitted document. I will do read _csv, and the file I want is clean, and I want to give the name data _village _census, and that data is read. So if you want to do a quick check on what kind of data this is, if you look at the console and I do dimensions data _village, we have around 18,255. We have 18,225 rows and 396 columns. Let's look at column names very quickly. We will not read through all of those, but I will quickly just keep it open so that in case I want to do something, I'll look at it. Right. So what do I want to really show is how you can parameterize a report. So first thing first, in order to do so, this is your YAML header. Here you have to declare some parameters. So let's say this is how you declare parameters. PARAMS is the keyword that you want to use. Indentation in YAML is very important. And say I want to declare a parameter that takes values of different districts. So I say dist is what the name I'm going to give it, and let me check a name for districts in Gujarat, and I will put that one in. And how do I do that is I will say unique data _village, district name is what we want. Okay, so there are 26 districts. This is 2011 data. Now there are more than 30, I guess. So say Kheda is what I want. So I copy Kheda and just paste it here. And then there are other very interesting features in this data, but we will not talk about this data right now. Let's say we want to include one more parameter, and that could be, I'm not sure what to make it. So that could be anything actually. I wonder. So this moment of confusion is because there are around 400 columns and I'm not sure which one to make a parameter right now. But let's say there has to be the primary school, and if there is a primary school or not. So let's see quickly about that. So let's say primary school. Okay, so these are all private primary school. Okay, the primary nearest, primary distance, private secondary, health center. Okay, here is middle school, secondary school, primary distance code, primary nearest village, primary nearest facility, private primary school status, pre-primary. Okay, so I should write government underscore PRI primary government school for disabled medicine whatnot GOVERNMENT government medical facility. Let's quickly run through the names again so that I don't have to rethink again and again. Sorry for wasting almost 2 minutes of your time. Okay, here I see yes, I see government secondary. Okay, I see government senior secondary, private, pre-primary government. Oh, they are not doing government, they are doing GOVT. So let's do GOVT underscore. Here it is. Government primary school status. And say I want a table for this. So, and I also want to use NAs in case there are any. So, I see that there are around 17,000 villages out of 18,225 that have a primary school and 462 that do not have a primary school. So, let's do that. Okay, so now I will also declare another parameter here and I will just name it ACH underscore PRI and I will give the value 1, right, or whatever that value could be, right. So now what I want to do is I want to write number of rows for district Kheda. So let's start with a header analysis for PARAMS params $dist Kheda district. That is our goal, and let's just see total number of villages in our PARAMS $dist district DISTRICT are say data underscore village underscore census and filter that with DIST underscore name is to be same as params dollar list, and I want the number of rows. So this will give me let me see if the function is called n row or is it just called n rows. I have forgotten because code completion always usually saves me. Oh, it's n row, not rows. Okay, fair enough. So here it will say total number of villages in Kheda district are this, and I'll quickly make a plot. And let's see if I am able to do that plot. Echo is false, and we can say I want to do data underscore village census, and let me just copy this part because I'm going to use it. I'm going to filter only for Kheda district, and I want to plot it with AES, say distance district headquarter distance in kilometer, and I want to plot on y-axis the population. Let me just run through the names very quickly. Names, data underscore census, and I have the names. So it's a bad idea to scroll 400 things. I should have done head names because I know those 4 variables are on top of this thing. Okay. Right. Yes, I want this as x-axis, the nearest town in kilometers, and then I want to mutate something, and I want to call it percentage SC population, and I will do that by doing total underscore schedule cast population of village divided by total population of village times 100. Times 100, and I will pipe that into ggplot again, and I will make it AC, and since there will be a lot of points, I'm going to use geom underscore jitter, and I will set alpha to be say 0.5, and in labels I want to say actually paste params dollar district with closest town versus percentage of SE population village, and say Y I mention to be percentage SC population, and X I mention it to be distance to closest town in kilometers, right? So we have used one of the, okay, I want to save this file as example underscore para, and we have used one of the parameters by now. I want to use a simple theme called black and white, and let's just for the sake of it use this one. And what I will do is I will make the same plot again, but by also filtering government primary school status equal to params $sch underscore primary. Do that here, right? And I will call this plot underscore sch pri underscore list whatever, and I will say echo is false. Right, and I have crossed my fingers now. I'm going to save this and try to knit it. Hopefully it doesn't give any errors. It might not, God knows. Okay, it has worked. Not the chart I was expecting, but it did work. So Kheda, distance to the closest town, versus percentage of population. Also total number of villages in Kheda district are 618. Okay. Right. So I don't know if these two charts are the same or not. So I should mention number of observations as well as a caption somewhere. And let's see if that works. See here, I can do caption space number of observations, and I will say n row, and let's see if this works again. It should, but I'm thinking that, yeah, dot operator is not found. So then, okay. Let's figure something else. What should I do then? I think the dot operator should work, but I am not sure why it is not working. Let me just print number of observations after filtering this and that. So I'll copy this, and so that I don't waste my time and yours. Okay, alright, and this will be echo equals false, copy this again and I will paste this here. Oh, I'll also get this line. Right, and now if I init it, it should tell me if there are any villages in Kheda that do not have a government primary school. So, oh, I have already wasted 20 minutes of yours. So 618 and 604. Okay, so there are at least, okay, so there are 14 schools missing in this chart which are here. That means there are 14 schools that do not have a government primary school or have missing data. Alright, so this is our basic thing. Now, say I want to do this for all the 25 districts of Gujarat. So then what I do? So then what I say is I want a new script and I want to name it something, analysis for all districts. Have I spelled districts correctly? I don't know. So first thing we need to know is that you can run the parameterized RMD file or even a simple RMD file using the Rmarkdown render function, and here you can give x underscore para dot RMD, and if you don't, you can run it like this also, but if you have a parameter you can supply it as well here as what were the names that we used? We used what names? We used dist and sch underscore purrr. So dist is equal to this and sch underscore purrr equal to something else. Right? Say I'm going to call it para1, I'm going to call it para2, should give comma here, and I'm going to wrap this function inside another function that I'm going to make. A rather long name for a function, but let's hope. So it takes para1, it also takes para2, right? Alright. Right. So now I paste this here. Okay. But I also want to save the output file with a particular name. So what I do is I say output file and its name should be district level analysis, and I want to write the district's name, so I will say para1, which is district, and I will give a hyphen, and again I will say para2 dot html, because that's the output format that we have specified. You can also specify output underscore format here, and I'm also going to give the separator to be no white space. So say separator is this, right? SEP, right? I've used it correctly. Okay. So I guess I'll save this function. Okay, there's an unexpected. Let's see why that is the case. This is for the Rmarkdown file. This is for the paste. This is for the list. This is for the render. Why is this unexpected then? Still it is unexpected. Let's see. I have missed a comma or colon or something somewhere. Here I have missed a comma. That is why it is giving me the pain. Alright. Okay, so embarrassment doesn't ever leave you. To save this file as script run all. Analysis. I don't know. We could name it better, but let's not. So. Of course, we need the data. So I'm going to take this, paste it here, and run it. But it is already loaded. Then I'm going to say vec underscore lists is equal to unique data underscore census dollar DSTRICT district name. So this will get me a vector of all the names of the districts. Let us look at it in the console. And now of a length 26, I will also make vec underscore ch underscore pri, and I'm going to say just repeat 126 times. I should name it underscore 1, right? So if I show you the thing, it should be 26 times 1. I should also make 1 with 2, and I will do it 2 here and do it 2 here. Right. So now it is time for us to run this thing, and we will use the purrr library and say map function, but we have 2 arguments. So I'll say x is vec underscore district, and the y is vec underscore primary 1, which is there, and the function is the function that we just made, and its name is render, right? So if I run this, it should create the kind of HTML file that we generated for Kheda for all of the other districts. In theory, that is what should happen. And so let me run this, and hopefully I will be successful, and you will see files populating in my project directory. And once they all are populated, I can open and see if they have been done correctly or not. And hopefully they have been. So this has been a 30-minute thing, which I was thinking would end in around 15 to 20 minutes max. It will be even longer if it turns out that my code doesn't work, but let's see. So I think a lot of the districts have been created here. There should be around 26 files that have been created. So I guess we wait for 30-20 more seconds, and remember there are 18,000 rows for it to filter from, and so it is quite a time-saving thing if we were doing this by hand. So if you look at my console, it tells me that it has created these 26 HTML files. Right. Now I will open some of these, and hopefully it would have worked. So let's start with Kutch. And okay, this is for Kutch. It says Kutch here because that is how we parameterized it. It says 924 here, 924 again, but only 831 here, right? So that's Kutch. Now if I close this and say open Dahod, and I bring it back again, it says 692 Dahod, then 692, and then 685. So this means that this thing has worked. But now I also want to do a thing where there are no primary schools. So instead of VEC 1, I'll do VEC 2 and run this thing again. For another 20-30 seconds, you guys will have to suffer and listen to me boring you. But hopefully that will be fine. So now we'll have to look for Kutch-2 instead of Kutch-1 because we set it to places that do not have a primary school. There are a few places that do not have a primary school. So yeah. So I think we are done. No, we are not done. Sorry, it's still running. So let me just paste the link to the GitHub repo in the README so that in case somebody wants to look at it, it's here. Yeah. Right. So 26 files have been created again. I'm going to save this. Cancel. I'm going to save. Yeah, it's already saved. Sorry. So let's open. These are all ones. Here are the twos starting. So let's open Kutch 2. We remember 900 and something for Kutch 1. Right, so there are 924 villages in Kutch, and we saw that very few have no primary school. This chart is changing. This chart will remain same because we have not used the second parameter in this chart, but this chart is changing. So if I then open, say, another Porbandar, I should also open Dahod because we did open Dahod. So there are 182 villages in Dahod, but in Porbandar there are 20. Porbandar, and instead of alpha I have spelled it ALPH, so I should correct that. So yes, it has worked for both cases. So I will correct that right now, otherwise it will be forgotten. And save it. I should ideally run these two things again, and that's it for the class.